Our next speaker will be Rabbi Michael Siegel. Rabbi Siegel is the senior rabbi. Senior rabbi at Congregational Anshe Emet, which is conservative Jews.
Good morning, everyone. Lord Tov. I must say that I'm impressed to see so many people anywhere, first thing in the morning. It speaks for the cause that we gather for. Just a few days ago was Passover, and attention was focused on Yitziat Mitzrayim, on the going out from Egypt. Around the world, an ancient story of hope amidst hopelessness was told of a God who freed a slave people, a group stripped of their identity, treated as gerim, as strangers in a strange land. Just a few days ago, we celebrated the people winning their freedom and the redemption that came in a physical and a spiritual form. Passover leaves us with a question. The very same question, I believe, that was posed to Moses and the children of Israel. After the plagues, after the splitting of the sea, after the great struggle, what is to be done with the gift of freedom? The Torah offers an unmistakable answer. The gift of freedom brings with it responsibility. The responsibility to create a just and holy society. A society where there are no strangers. There are no gerim. No one singled out as other. The words of the Torah, "You shall not oppress the stranger, for you were once strangers in a strange land." This lesson is repeated over and over and over again in our Holy Scriptures. The rabbis teach that the word Mitzrayim, Egypt, is actually an acronym made up of two words. Makom Tsar, a narrow place. Indeed, Egypt, or Mitzrayim, was not an ancient country alone, but a metaphor for any place that feels dangerous, narrow, discriminatory for its residents. In our society, in America today, where we are blessed with so many freedoms, we need to acknowledge that there are far too many in this country who are tragically treated like gerim, treated like strangers in their own land. Sadly, the LGBT community continues to struggle for freedoms in this country that most Americans simply take for granted. And friends, it's a few days since Passover ended, and we gather here at this equality breakfast, diverse representation, to ask this question: what are the responsibilities of our freedoms? What must we do to ensure that the LGBT community no longer be treated like gerim, like strangers, in this country where we value freedom so? We are called upon to do more than acknowledge that people in same-sex relationships are too often forced into Mitzrayim, to that narrow place where discrimination runs rampant, where couples who have committed their lives to one another are denied insurance coverage, where the children of such relationships may not receive survivor benefits, where same-sex couples may be denied the possibility of having access to one another in a hospital room. The task of our generation is to advocate for those who are treated as strangers in our society, for those who are too often overlooked, too often discriminated against. This is our task, and it is avodat kodesh. It is holy work. When you affix your name to legislation ending discrimination for the LGBT community, you are continuing that journey out of Egypt, the Yitziat Mitzrayim of our time. When you meet with legislators and elected officials and demand equality, you are walking forward from that very narrow place that too many Americans are living in. Passover has just ended. A celebration of freedom and responsibility. What shall we do with the freedom of our age? Our hope, our prayer, our responsibility is that God will give us the strength, the wisdom, and the courage to walk with Moses and the children of Israel, to continue their journey to ensure that no one be treated as a stranger in this country based upon race, creed, or sexual orientation. To that I hope we can all say, Amen.